Alright. Welcome back to the Lich's Archives. As usual, not a lot of things to say, so we'll just jump right on into this episode. Over that just a bit. So, last we left off, you guys were just leaving the city of Red Bay. On your exit, you found there was a group of orcs being held up by the guards. Took notice of the clans they were from. It seemed to respectively be the Red Jaws as well as a member of the Blue Hands, who is from a tribe far, far on the other side of Char. But wasting no time with that, you guys had a place to be, and so you set off as quickly as you could. Your first day of travel was relatively smooth. Yeah, the only things you had to get off the road for a horse to pass that was being pursued or being followed by another two horses. The riders themselves paying you guys almost no heed as they were just barreling down the road. But besides that, you guys went and you made it to the foothills of one of the closest mountains. You set up camp there. We met Assie's new familiar, Doty, the owl. There was a bit of scouting throughout the night, and you guys realized there were some fires up on that mountain, and there was some very large gray humanoids that were keeping these fires going. They didn't seem aware of your presence, but you guys did discover another campsite a little ways between you and this other one. So the next morning, you headed over there, gave it a quick look to discover 5 bodies in various conditions, as well as a couple of weapons and maybe a couple of other trinkets, pieces of gold, so on and so forth. You know, what you would really expect from this sort of thing. But having no identity or anything to go off of this, you continued on your path, passing onto the northern face of these mountains and returning to the road. This day's travel was a bit more exciting as you discovered a carriage. This encounter was over as quickly as it began, as Assie was caught off guard, quickly covered in some sort of strange glue, executed a backwards roll and found himself pinned to the ground. The other 3 people, you presume dead, stood up, grabbed their weapons, and had you guys surrounded rather quickly. A few words were exchanged. You guys agreed to go your separate ways, as neither group really felt like they had the upper hand, and they just wanted to move apart and move on with their day. During the little bit of travel, as the sun was starting to go down, Shalashar remembered flipping a coin to one of them, and it seems that in that action of revealing of where he kept his money, he was relieved of a little bit more than a single coin. And that's where we find you guys now. It's currently still about close to the end of the watch, so at this point the sun is just now starting to creep up as everyone is starting to come awake. Your camp is set on the edge of a couple of trees nestled nearby this stream. The sky is still holding dark. It's definitely gray. It's not the same blue sky or the warm weathers you guys were enjoying on your first 3 days of travel. As you guys are coming back into this moment, to remind you of the things that have been occurring. Arod, you have found several marked trees throughout the forest, as well as just general weird tracks of various other things that were giving you a little trepidation. Across the river, there seems to be a strange hut that has appeared. It wasn't there during the rest of the day. It appeared sometime when you set up camp to the middle of the night. Dottie, the owl, decided to give a quick little look upon hearing some scratching in the forest during Assie's watch, and you found a very peculiar man who seemed to be actually marking the trees himself. He had some sort of tools with him. But when he noticed the owl, he turned a little a little bit more feral, dropping to all fours and chasing after your familiar, but you manage to apparate it out. And that's where we begin. Who was having the final watch?
That would have been Kerr, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Alright. In that case, Cole, would you like to make the first perception check of the day?
No, but I'll
guys
do it
can
anyway.
Let me know how you would like to start today after we see what exactly is going on.
It's a strong 7.
A strong 7. And I believe, Assie, you're cooking breakfast as usual, correct?
Yeah. Or at least what passes for breakfast out here on the road.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing you've noticed. There's a little bit of breeze coming in, and it's raining ever so slightly. It's not even quite raining. It's more like you just feel gently misted. You know, the raindrops at this point are so fine they barely even make a sound as they fall against the ground.
It sounds to me like a very polite grocery store produce misting.
Not quite that much, you know, like that would be excessive. But it's just enough that you're like, it is getting humid. You know, if it was hotter, it would be uncomfortable, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But besides that, there really isn't too much to notice. One of the easy things to notice, though, is across the stream, the lights on the cabin are up, currently on in the windows. Whoever lives in there also seems to be awake, but no one's come out, and it's far enough away that you guys could avoid it if you so chose. But what would you guys like to be doing this morning?
I'm struggling because the humidity has made my hair puff up a lot. Not used to this.
I'm trying to help AC with your hair.
You're just there with the beard comb trying to get through.
Yeah, just trying to get out all the knots here. Bear with me.
This is a 2-elf operation here, trying to braid it up into some sort of a bun.
Stop moving. Stop moving so much. Jesus.
What? You're pulling out. That hurts.
I can't help it, okay? I can't help it. Just have to tough it through. Come on.
Have you ever considered just shaving it off?
How dare you speak those words?
So rude.
It's more of a question.
Just because you can't grow hair, don't be jealous about us that can.
I know. Do you know how long I've spent maintaining all of this?
He's jealous. He's just jealous. It's okay.
I
Don't worry.
haven't had hair for a long time, and I'll tell you, the upkeep, it's wonderful. But
I
I
don't
will
want to
say
have to
that
shave my face 3 times a day to look smooth, okay?
you could just rip it out, burn it.
I'm sorry,
Jesus.
did you just suggest that I burn off my face?
Your facial hair, not your face per se.
By the gods, this guy's crazy.
I...
Yeah, go ahead. Just stick your face in the campfire, AC. It'll be okay.
No.
Haven't you ever heard of a flash burn? The fire just catches suddenly, and it just follows the hair face.
If I ever wake up without a beard, I'm blaming you now, Bone Daddy.
Oh, I'm not gonna get rid of it. I would just shave a hole right down the center.
If a single hair is cut, I'm blaming you.
I'm looking at you, A-Rod.
Me? What did I do? I'm over here trying to help.
Until AC says if a single hair is out of place. What's the chance that you just
Avod would not betray me like that.
you
Never.
almost stole something from your parents' place?
No, I didn't.
You thought about it.
No, I didn't. I would never. Not from AC. That place is sacred.
Anyone else?
They had good booze. Yeah, anyone else maybe. I have rules. There is some honor amongst thieves. Well, some thieves. Sometimes. Not all the time.
What I'm hearing is that there is honor, and there are thieves, and they don't often coexist.
That is an astute observation.
I mean, like, you gotta have at least a few people that you can trust to watch your back.
True, won't last long if you don't. And I'm over here like kind of cleaning some of the hairs that I pulled out in the comb. Oh shit.
Fuck.
Sorry. The knots.
When I was meditating last night between watches, I think I found something I can do. I'm gonna reach down. I'm gonna take like a wisp of the black that's coming out of my cloak, and I'm just gonna flick it at the water, and it starts just bouncing and not actually touching the water. I think I can get us to float, like to walk across water.
Really? Well, that would be handy.
We won't need a boat.
Think.
As long as it can support our weight, I think it should be okay. So in case we need to make a quick escape,
Should we test it out?
yeah. If maybe if once you finish eating, I love not having to pay for food. Once you finish eating and kind of gather all our supplies, probably test it out, see if it works.
I'll test it out right now.
I don't know how long I can keep focused on it, but I think I might be able to get everyone here. So should
like
we wait?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Someone should be the guinea pig.
I'll do it.
Oh, okay. I already volunteered, but hey, by all means, please.
Okay.
Can you swim?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love the water.
Okay, fantastic.
So I'll walk over to Kerr and I'll shift my mask a little bit so my mouth is exposed, and I'll just start retching and vomiting this black ooze onto the ground.
Ew.
And it starts growing tendrils and actually like climbs up his foot and wraps itself like a like some sort of really fucked up cast around his foot.
I just ate.
Wait, I have to wear shoes now?
It's on the bottom of your feet. Think of it as
Shoes.
a shadow.
Shadow shoes.
Okay, I can deal with that.
And what spell are you casting?
It is called Water Walk.
Ooh, yeah, that would indeed let you walk on water. Exactly as advertised.
And after I finish vomiting up this, it's gonna start crawling to everyone else in the group. Because it's up to 10 creatures.
You.
That is.
I'll grab
Your vomit bone daddy.
I'll grab my stuff and try running across the river.
Yeah, up to 10 willing creatures within range.
Yeah, it's as soon as it like touches the water, the boot itself actually kind of like lowers on the foot and almost like expands, and you're almost standing on like this dark, smoky sort of tendril cloud, and you just kind of stand on top of the water, and it itself is like following the cove of the water, and it's keeping you afloat, but you yourself are just rock steady.
Okay, how long of a distance is it?
Across the river?
Yeah.
To cross the river, it depends on where you go. There's definitely a range here. At the thinnest point, it probably is as little as like 20 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna book it.
This, the duration is an hour, by the way, out of character.
Ah, cool.
Yep, so you can move across water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava.
And various other bodily fluids not mentioned.
And if you target a creature submerged in a liquid, the spell carries the target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per second, so you just go fucking sky high.
I was referring to blood, by the way, you sickos.
Hell yeah.
Focus. Alright, so...
With any luck,
Start
we
moving.
won't need to get a boat.
Hey, no, this is great. I'm gonna be like stomping around in the water. Check it out. Nice vomit, bone daddy. It works.
You don't
Never
want to
thought
know
I'd
what it's made of.
I never thought I'd say that sentence before, but
That makes two of us. So, are we gonna sit around, or did you want to eat on the way?
Hey,
Yeah,
Arod,
let's-
while you're on the
yeah.
water, can you make a perception check for me?
I sure can.
I'm already like moonwalking the last 10 feet across.
I ran across, and I am on the other side now.
So 16.
16. Are you guys crossing the river here, or are you staying on your side? Because anyone else that has crossed, you can also make a perception check. This one's specifically for Arod, but if you've crossed, you're close enough that you can also make one.
I've crossed.
Did we just leave all our stuff, like, before we really commit to this, did we leave our stuff in camp? Because that's what I was asking. If you grab your bags and we're going across the river, that's fine.
Yeah, I grabbed
I
my
always
stuff.
put my
I
stuff
got my
away.
stuff already.
So we're not making food, so I would have gone with you.
Alright, so you
Okay.
have all crossed the river, then you've packed up your things as you were retching horrendously.
Yeah.
And then you
While
guys
you
had
were doing this, we cleaned up. Like
Alright.
we were eating while Arod was combing out my hair and helping me
Alright.
tame the beast.
So, Assie, what did you get?
I got a 15.
Cole?
10.
21.
21. Oddly enough, even Cole, you're able to... You can see, like, there's someone looking out of the window. The rest of you, however, can actually make out the figure. And what you see is a elderly
Actually,
sort
I'm
of woman's
16.
face. But the entire right side of her face is, like, covered in a very dark, wine-stained birthmark. Arod, however, you actually recognize this woman. You don't know her personally, but you do recognize her as someone that used to hang out around Bola for a little bit. Her name was Lillian the Strange. Make a history check for me.
Let me find it. Ooh, I got -1 to history. Oh, but I rolled a 17, so 16.
You're like
Very nice.
90% sure that she's the one that gave the stone to Bola in the first place.
Okay. What was her name again?
Lillian
Lillian.
the Strange. And as I said, she looks to be, you guys would probably say she's human. Late 40s, early 50s, very long white hair, and then the entire right side of her face, including part of her neck, is covered in a very dark birthmark. But it almost had like spider webs out. You know, it's a very kind of strange ending that it comes into. It almost looks like very similar to his vomit, like tendrils, like it's trying to itself pull itself across her face. And she's just kind of standing in the window. She just smiles at you all pleasantly, gives you a nice little wave.
I'm gonna give her a wave back and then kind of like nonchalant just look and double take really quick. Be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Lillian?
In that moment that you look away and you look back, the cottage itself is starting to turn, like the sunlight's hitting it, and as the sunlight's hitting it, it's almost like getting brighter and at the same time becoming less real as you guys move closer, almost like a mirage. And now that you've like crossed the river and you've all have taken notice, it's like vanishing.
I'm just gonna run up as fast as I can to it.
Okay.
I'm hot on his
Ooh.
heels.
Lillian!
You make it to the edge of this cottage, and you touch it, and you do feel something substantial, but as your fingers like close against it, it like your hand closes on itself as the cottage like completely vanishes.
What the hell is up with this place, man? Got tree markings, got cottages disappearing. I'm about done with these woods, guys.
As you're thinking of this, there's another thing that is striking you as like very bizarre. The month that we're in right now, it's summer. But it's getting dark, it's getting rainy. Looking at the trees behind you, some of them are starting to pick up different shades of oranges and red. It's getting colder. It's more like fall than it is summer. You've lived and you've been around this area for most of your life, Arod. And this is definitely like you're experiencing fall. For some reason, this is not at all the weather you were expecting.
Well, whatever anyone can make of this, and I'll like motion to where the cottage was. Everyone else saw that, right? That wasn't just me.
Saw what? No, I'm just messing with
The
you. I
god.
saw
Oh,
that.
thank God, Court. Jeez. By the gods, you freaked me out.
Was there actually something there? Did it have substance?
I felt something for a moment, but it's gone. It vanished.
Maybe it only shows up at night.
I knew the woman in the window.
Really?
Her name was Lillian. She's the one who gave the stone to Bolar when everything started going downhill. At least I think. Really would have been nice to talk to her.
Out of character, DM. Did you say he knew her from Thornbluff?
Nope, not Thornbluff.
Okay.
No, this is something else.
Well,
I'm not crazy in saying that her house wasn't there last night, right? The cottage
no,
just
now
wasn't
on
there.
watch.
We all saw it.
But before we actually laid down for rest, it wasn't there.
Maybe you just didn't notice it?
I pride myself on being pretty aware of my surroundings. I wouldn't miss a cottage in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it appears again.
Yeah, but do
Because-
we want to hang around here that long?
No, but considering it came out of nowhere yesterday, and when the sun touched it just now, it started to fade. Maybe it only appears at night? Maybe it's some sort of, like, between planes thing?
Never known Lillian to have access to that sort of stuff, but who knows?
Could be a curse.
I'm
Could
gonna
be.
start, like, walking around where I had seen the hut the other night, and just, like, look around with, Epidot and just investigate, poke around and see if there was anything left behind or left on the ground or whatever.
You can roll an investigation or perception.
Investigation.
Anyone else notice that it's getting colder out here too? We're in summer. Why is it feels like a fall around here? I don't know. It's colder than it should be.
18.
I would confirm your feelings, but I don't feel temperature anymore.
As they're having this conversation, Assie, you move over there and you have a closer look at the ground, and you're definitely not a tracker, but
Yep.
you were looking for where this house was, and you can definitely find like imprints in the ground. There's an obvious depression. The grass itself is bent over and broken. You know, the grass here grew, something came in, it disturbed it, probably in the shape of this cottage, and now it is completely gone. You know, it's also dry. You know, as I said, everything else was raining. There's a dry patch here.
Okay, so it was definitely a real thing.
Definitely. For however long it was here, it was real. Tangible at the very least.
Well, whoever she was, definitely gone now. We should probably get going though, because I did my best to lead whoever was carving the trees away last night when he's noticed Epidot, but might
Yeah,
double back.
I think it is the best plan if we get moving. We can make up a lot of ground this way. If we're able to cross all the water.
Yes, though, just I don't know, man. Something feels wrong here. Something feels very off.
I agree. It doesn't. It feels skewed.
I mean, look, even the trees are different shades of brown and orange.
Like a weird dream.
This is why I got out of these woods. There's always some weird shit going on.
I think wherever we set up camp next, let's just be extra aware of our surroundings. Make sure you document if there's any more markings, if there's any random cottages around, the trees are green, just mundane things that might get affected.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Otherwise, I think we just head off on the path.
Probably a best bet.
Yeah, we should get moving.
Alright. As you guys finish gathering yourselves, having this brief conversation, kind of looking over this area, you organize yourselves into the way you usually do. And that would be, correct me if I'm wrong, A-Rod off in the distance. Thanks for the follow, whoever you are. Off in the distance, taking a look into things, scouting it out. Assy kind of going back between the two, and then we have Shalashar and Cole mostly just keeping pace as best as they can. My main question, though, A-Rod, as you do know these woods the best, are you planning to take them through the woods? Are you looking for game trails, trying to find a path when you're back on this side?
I would actually like to modify the order of things slightly.
Okay.
Now that I have Epidot, I'm actually going to stick next to Salashar and Cole, and every few minutes, like I'll go into Epidot and look through their eyes, and I'll hold on to either Salashar or Cole's hand while I do this, and just keep walking with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. You have to be hopefully walking for a while, because you're a couple of days travel away, so definitely doable. Thanks for letting me know.
Yep.
So, A-Rod, back to you. What's
Probably-
your ideal for how you want to get to where you're going?
Probably gonna try to stick to a path, because if AC is blind, I don't want her bumping her head into trees and such as we're trying to get through these woods.
Alright, and then I'm going to describe a path or two, and you can let me know which one you think sounds better. So from where you crossed, you were close to the smallest mountain in this mountain range. Fay Pond itself is a giant pond, and it has mountains on almost all sides. So you could follow this stream that will actually take you directly there, or you could grow more northeast and make it to the mountains and skirt along those along the southern edge, or you could even just kind of split the middle between the two and just go through the woods. But
Let's
you
split the
are
middle.
on the correct side to get to Fay Pond, so there's that.
Let's split the middle.
Split the middle. Alright, so that's going to be a lot more kind of bushwhacking and like taking more like game trail sort of thing. Definitely doable, but does that make sense?
Yes.
Alright. In that case, can I get a perception check from you, A-Rod, as well as you, Assy, and then Cole and Shalashar? Can you two just roll a d20 and tell me what you get? I'll get their rolls first, and then I'll get your guys' perceptions.
Dirty 20.
Easy enough to remember. Shalashar?
I got a 2.
I love that. Cole?
8.
We're just in for
I love it.
dick. Like behind that tree right ahead of us is just an onslaught of just bukkake.
No, don't worry. Alright, my random encounters are not laid out in such a way that low means bad. It means something else. Don't worry, buddy. You'll find out soon enough. My lovely
Bukkake.
little kids. Assy, what'd you get?
For myself, I have a 8, and
I'm okay about the owl.
yes, I'm about to roll the owl. I have advantage because hearing a sight. Ooh.
Pretty handy.
22.
Alright, 22. So whatever's coming, you two will probably see it. So over today's travel, it definitely isn't as smooth as it was the last couple of days, as A-Rod kind of goes a little rogue, shall we say. He starts leading you guys to the woods. He seems to know it well enough, and he's very confident in the way he moves through them. And he just kind of takes you guys from one path to the next. It's almost like, he's familiar with the woods. He's almost more at home on these than he was in the open path. It definitely takes a bit more time for you guys to adjust, as we have two people in heavier armor. So, A-Rod, you do need to slow down just a little bit to every once in a while circle back, or, get Assy, who's watching through the eyes of the owl and can really help also position the group through these. As you are doing this, you still have the same similar things, but it seems like it's getting more and more fall. The majority of the day, if you want, you could have hunted a deer here, and you could add that and take time to skin it. That's up to you. Or you guys could move on and not worry about game. That's up to you. Just let me know if you want to do that or not.
Think we're good on rations.
Good on
Yeah,
rations.
I bought some.
Now, in
I don't
that
think
case,
we'll spend extra time.
you guys are able to make it rather deep into the woods today. A-Rod, since you are out and about and you are further ahead, the trees are starting to get more wild, in a sense. It's something that's just part of Fapon and the way it is. But one of the trees that you're actually by, and it's been raining for quite a while, you recognize it. Well, you don't recognize, you've never seen anything like this. It's almost like it's holding some sort of bowl, a basin, if you will, one of these trees. And it's like filled up with quite a bit of water. Over the course of the day, it's been raining a bit more heavily. Make a survival check for me.
You got it. It's an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
It's strange that, you look at this thing and it's like a perfect basin carved into this tree just filled with water. It's the only really odd thing you see. If you want, you can take a look at that. You could move on past and we can get you guys down for the evening. That's up to you.
I'll take a bit of a closer look at it.
Alright. As you move closer to the tree, you get a little bit of a better look. Dottie, you as well would have noticed that A-Rod would have stopped through your owl's eyes.
Okay.
Seems to be some sort of very large oak tree, and it just seems like there's a weird basin carved into it, and it's probably about maybe a foot deep. This basin that's filled with water, and it's like almost up to the brim. The water itself almost has with your perception, roll an investigation actually. Let's get that going. And tell me how you would like to investigate this, if you would be so kind.
Drink the water.
For who? Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of like dip my hand in it a little bit and kind of see how deep down it goes, look under it. I have a -1 to investigation. Hey, but I rolled a nat 20, so it's a 19.
A 19. The water is actually warm, It's beyond... it's warm. It's not even tepid, There's some sort of heat or something to it. As you put your hand in, you kind of swirl your hand through it, and there's a wake left by your hand, but it also seems to almost glitter as your hand, passes through this water.
I'll take a sip.
Can I try to
You're going to
rack my
what?
brain for anything like this as I'm looking through my familiar's eyes and watching this?
Sorry, what was that, Assy? You looked through the familiar's eye and you want to do what?
I want to try and rack my brain for anything that I might have heard about weird water in trees.
You can do arcane or history.
Ooh.
Or nature. And you let me know which one it was.
Arcane?
Arcane.
Okay, 7. I've got 11.
11.
Yep.
Water isn't supposed to glitter. You know that much. That much
Yeah.
is a complete gimme.
Yeah.
But the other thing you notice from the bird's eye view is actually a very, very pretty woman who just kind of like is slowly stepping around the tree at this point. At this point, Arod, you also look up and you see her, and she's just kind of smiling at you. She's actually like wearing a very loose gown. It covers everything, but it seems to be a white fabric. And she just kind of leans against the tree as you like take this sip, and she just goes, "Is it good?"
Oh, whoa, shit! Holy shit! Yeah.
The water
Sorry.
is very sweet. That's the first thing that you do notice. And even though it was like warm when you had your hand in it, it is the coolest, most refreshing drink you've ever had.
It was great. Sorry, I mean, if I didn't mean to, if we're not allowed to drink from it, that was my bad.
No, it's fine. You're allowed to take a little bit.
Well, thank you. I'm Arod, and you are?
She just kind of smiles at you and says, "Are you from these woods?
I came from here, yeah.
Do you like them?"
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of home, I guess.
Oh,
So the weather's been a bit strange, but
it seems like you've traveled quite a bit, though, based on your attire. And she's like moving closer to you. She's almost like circling around you to the other side of the tree.
I'm like slowly continuing, like backing up as I'm like trying to keep a very obvious distance.
Right. When she notices
have-
that, she does stop. She doesn't push the issue as you move away.
I don't know what's going on, but there's some girl talking to Arod. And he's drinking water. Why is he drinking the glittery water?
Is he trying to sheath his sword?
Not yet, but he might.
Oh, I gotta watch. I gotta see this.
I gotta watch. Alright. You guys
Um,
can try to make your way through the woods if you want as this conversation continues.
Well, I'm Arod. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'll extend out my hand.
And she'll put a hand out as well. And she goes, "You can just call me Leaf."
Leaf, huh? That's an unusual name.
Not from where I'm from.
And where's that?
She looks towards the tree.
You live in the tree?
Well, if you want to stay, I could tell you about it.
I don't mean to be rude. It's just we got places to be, and I have some others with me.
Well, I mean, a couple more is a bit of a crowd, so if you have places you need to be, I wouldn't want to keep you.
I don't think I appreciate it. I honestly don't know what to say. I never thought I would be. You're kind of the last thing I expected to see, a beautiful woman coming out of a tree.
Do you want some of the water to go then? It's the least I could offer for a traveler like you.
Oh, wow, really? Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, Assy.
Can I roll insight while I'm watching this?
Yeah, you can make it. Do it with disadvantage because you're watching like a bird's eye view from an owl.
Yeah. My owl is still pretty good. So I've got 16 with disadvantage.
16.
Pretty good.
I
It's
could
an
have had
odd
20.
encounter, but it's nothing. She's not aggressive. She's been polite in the way she's positioned herself. With the way she's standing, you can tell she's very relaxed. When like the way that she's still by this tree, and she actually kind of puts her hand against the tree, and she rubs her hand against it. And as her hand comes away, she's actually holding a carved wooden cup that she just kind of dips into this little basin and holds it out to you. You get the feeling she's more naive than sinister. Assy is kind of what you
Okay.
get from her. She holds this cup out to you, Arod.
I'll take it. Thank you very much. You've been overly generous. Hey, have you seen any huts? Any random huts? Kind of just popping up? I know that's a strange question to ask. I realize that.
She just furls her brow at that as if she's thinking really hard. And at this point, her eyes snap up as she sees Cole and Shalasha and Assy coming towards her, and she just goes, "No, I haven't, but sorry, I'm not much one for crowds." And she kind of backs up towards the basin And as she like touches it, you watch as she almost like starts to turn wooden, and she actually becomes one with the tree, and you see almost like a lump travels up into the leaves.
Oh, no, wait, well, that was something.
You guys get there, and Arod's just holding this strange wooden cup.
Where did you find a cup in the middle of the woods?
So, okay, so get this, right? This basin of water here that sparkles, it is delicious. And I took some of it, and then this lady came out of the tree, and she was, oh god, was she pretty. But anyway, I was talking with her, and she was nice, and I guess she went back into the tree.
Are there hallucinogenic mushrooms around here?
God, I hope not.
Make a perception check if you're actually looking for them.
14 plus 8, so that's 22.
Telling you, she was part of the tree, guys.
22. You don't notice that, but you do notice, like, there are mushrooms around here. More than you would expect. Same with you, Arod. If you were now, like, to suddenly also get your eyes drawn towards the mushrooms, they're plentiful here. And you can even see, like, some of them almost make, like, little circles, but they don't quite complete. You know, and this is more than you've ever seen growing up in these woods. Like, you're used to there being mushrooms. Like, you and your group, you have been able to survive in these woods extremely well, you know?
Can I roll a history on this?
If you want.
I have a thought, but I'm not sure if Aspia would know what I might.
Okay.
I tried some of the water.
16, 17, dirty
Okay.
20.
Same thing for you, you know, it's definitely feels very warm, but as you, like, put your hands together, you dip your hands in, you try it. One of the most refreshing drinks you have ever had, and that just has a very sweet sort of taste to it as well.
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah, it is. Don't drink it all, though. Don't drink it all.
Oh. Okay.
What did you get for your history, Yassi?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. What sort of history are you looking for? History of the area? History of what?
History of fey creatures.
You're aware that where you're going to is Fey Pond.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying
And
to
you're
think.
definitely kind of getting influences of the Fey. Mushrooms, weird weather patterns, strange occurrences. You've heard that, like, in Fey Pond, you know, it used to be a Fey portal, but it's supposed to have been sealed. There's always been weird things that have happened. There's always rumors of fairies, sprites, nymphs, eldrin, you name it. Someone has a story from one of those things here in Fey Pond. But they've been stories, you know, there's never been, like, exactly, like, Fey occurrences or anything like that since it was dealt with. You know, probably with that you would know there's been conversations of opening the portal or trying to find a way into the Fey courts beyond. But as far as you know, like, if that was to happen, it would probably be a big thing. People would be a lot more aware that this has a code. But whatever's going on here, especially for you, Arod, who's grown up in these woods, like, as much as it's like things have changed, things have stayed the same. But there's definitely a lot more abundance in, like, these occurrences for you. You've also grown up hearing these stories, but like I said, it's mostly just been stories.
Just knew these woods were strange. Anyone else want to try the water? No? Anyone? Got a cup?
Good.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
I'm alright.
AC? Cup?
I'm not really thirsty.
Good.
Yeah, suit yourself. I'll down the cup.
Alright, you have
I
the
hope
cup
you
and
get indigestion.
same thing. High or low, Arod?
Low.
Low. As you have this drink, you feel younger. And for the rest of the day, you're going to move 5 feet faster.
Sweet.
you know.
I was looking through my familiar. Did I see where the girl disappeared?
Ah, yeah, you would have seen her back
Yeah.
into the tree and become one with it. But after that, she's gone.
Okay. I'm gonna take from my bag of pickling the pickled carrot out. And I'm gonna set it down on like a little scrap cloth from one of my rations. I'm just gonna set it there. Right by where she had disappeared.
Alright.
You guys ready to head out?
Yeah, I feel great. Thanks, Leaf. And I'll like wave to the tree.
A-Rod and Cole, when he says this, you can actually... You almost hear your welcome as like the leaves rustle from this tree.
Did that tree just talk?
Wouldn't even be the weirdest thing that's happened
You
today.
know, and
We are somewhere where the Fae is supposed to be closer than usual.
I guess that explains all the weirdness. It's funny, you always hear stories, but you never actually get to see something for yourself.
I mean, that explains the name.
Well, we're gonna be heading off now, Leaf. You stay safe.
and with that, you guys move past the tree and you continue deeper through the woods in the direction of Fae Pond. A-Rod definitely seems to be moving faster, as well as Cole and A-Rod. You guys are actually starting to pick up weird, like, whispers throughout the woods. You know, it's never anything malicious, it's never anything important, but it's just like strange words where it's almost like just random, you know, you get like pieces of conversation. You know, you'll just suddenly just get a tree just saying like, think it's gonna rain. And then, you know, little bit more down the road, you hear someone say, fucking squirrels on my roots. It's just weird snippets of conversation. Right? You know, but as it starts to get later in the day, these words become less and less clear, and it's almost like this ability to communicate or to understand the trees is fading. What sort of place would you like to set your camp?
Find a nice clearing.
A clearing? Anything else you're looking for you to be like, this is it, this is the spot? Again, you could go in the middle of the woods, you could take them on a detour and try to reconvene by the river, or you could say, maybe we can make it to the foothills again and get clear of this forest.
Out of curiosity, how far have we traveled by kind of taking the shorter paths?
Oh, with your map, baby, you know it's at this rate, it's probably going to take 4 more days. Roughly. Probably. You know, there's like, you know, if you wanted, you could even try to use this map and say to A-Rod, hey, let's try to stick to the valleys. Let's try to do this, let's try to do that. If you wanted. But probably, like, no matter which way you cut this cake, it's probably going to be 4 to 5 days.
Any preferences?
Whatever's the shortest route. I don't really mind other than that. I'd rather just get paid and get back to civilization.
Well, we can go ahead and just find a clearing.
I've personally have had enough of wandering through blank areas with no fucking scenery.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what we're gonna do then. Let's find a clearing somewhere. Settle down. Enjoy the scenery, Salashar.
Alright, it will take you a little bit, but eventually you could find a decent clearing somewhere in these woods where it's almost like, it's not perfect, you know, there's still like a couple of trees here and there in the clearing, but it's the clearest place you've been. Now, as you've kind of gotten a bit more out of this forest, you're able to look up. The sky hasn't really changed from its shades of gray. It's still the same dull gray that it's been all morning. The only reason that you know it's getting closer to night is because through the clouds, the sun is no longer trying to shine through. It is getting darker overall. But it's, you know, would have been a dreary day, and like Now that you're out of the woods, you're only just now noticing that. When you were in the woods, it seemed nicer, it seemed clear, it seemed decent. But now that you're out of them and you're able to see that sky again, nah, it's gray, it's dull, as you guys start setting up your camp. Same watches as usual for all of you.
I think so.
Probably.
Did anyone notice that the forest seemed less shitty?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's Fae stuff.
I'm not super familiar with the Fae itself. I know that there's like fairies or
Something
something.
like that.
I spent my entire life in a desert.
Well, I don't think many people know much about the Feywilds. I certainly don't.
You seem to kind of know something, AC.
I read a lot, you guys.
Well,
Like, so much, okay?
while
Do
we're
you?
setting up camp, read something. Remember something. I'd rather not walk into this completely unprepared.
I mean, I got... What have I got with... I've got Badger Bob's survival guide. But I don't know if that'll help much.
Nice cat.
I don't know what you guys want me to do, okay? Like, that place seemed awfully fey.
Just
Kind
make
of to be
camp.
expected, I think, given where we are.
All I know is that water was great. I feel
Mhm.
amazing. I have felt great all day.
You guys really should have tried some.
Yeah, you should have tried. You missed out. That was some sparkly water.
I don't trust water from weird ponds with a
That's
lot of
fine.
mushrooms and clearly fey beings scouting them, you know? Like,
I
That's
mean,
why
it,
it's
me
holy
think.
water.
I mean, in all fairness, you're right. I probably
Oh, do
probably
you want
shouldn't
some
have
holy
drank.
water? I have
No,
a vial in my pack.
No. I'm good. Not that thirsty.
He's allergic.
It makes me sneeze.
The true skin condition.
Can I roll perception? I want to, I'd like to examine the clearing that we're in, like I had mentioned before. Any huts, any random huts around, see the life of the trees, see anything. I just want to basically get an idea of what this area looks like, just in case anything goes fucking weird in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's fine. All you gotta say is I just want to look around. So yeah, perception will do that for sure.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you guys are like going and you're setting up your camps, you're getting your tent nice and situated, maybe starting a fire if you so choose. Shalashar kind of moves off and he's more or less just getting a look of this area. Not a lot of things are really catching your attention right now, you know. You're just in this clearing, you're watching everything get set up, you're looking back towards the forest, and it's still. It's silent. It's serene. There's a faint breeze sort of blowing, and as you're standing there, it hits you. A raindrop. You kind of look up. Another one falls. The only thing you can really tell is it's probably going to rain tonight. Deep down, you think to yourself, glad I'm not on that river right now. And you can also see, like, now, like, the sky's starting to look more and more angry as we're getting into this. It's the biggest thing you can really tell tonight. It's probably going to be a bit of a storm and one that hopefully you're prepared for.
I've got a help, and I've got rope.
I'm going to... Is there any small trees nearby? I want to get to, like, 4 small trees.
Yeah, like I said, in the middle of this clearing, there's a couple of little trees scattered around throughout this.
Okay, I'm going to pull up my axe. I'm going to snap its head into place. And I'm going to just start whacking down a couple of these trees.
Arod and Core, As soon as he hits this tree, you can like just hear it scream slightly as he like cuts into it, and he hits it again.
Wait! No! Nope! Stop!
You good?
Nope. No, the tree doesn't like that. That hurt it.
True.
What? It was
Should've drank the
screaming.
water.
Sort of.
It's a tree.
Yeah.
You guys drink that Fey water.
And
You're hearing the trees now.
Great, so maybe
Yeah,
don't
like
chop
I
it
said,
down.
there
Someone
has to be
name.
something hallucinogenic in there, because trees.
No, it's the Fey. You guys. Haven't you ever heard about people who, like, you drink the water from a Fey pool and you end up talking to trees and you start growing leaves?
Jonestown Massacre?
Roll an arcane.
see any leaves?
Roll a. Just roll a d20 for me, Assy.
That is a 19.
It's not just Fey water. What they drank makes tree ants.
Yay.
So they drank like some tree ant water. It's not just like this was
Ooh.
important. And in that moment, you kind of think to yourself, that
Wait a
tree.
Wait a second. And I start reaching forward and I pull out a book. I toss it over my shoulder, it disappears. I pull out another book and I toss it over my shoulder, it disappears. And I pull out a book of poetry. This is it. And I start reciting to you guys a poem in Elvish and loosely translated.
I'll tell
into
you
common.
exactly what it is. It's called The Treant and the Maiden. And the poem is about nymphs that protect trees that hear the calling. And those
What?
trees, sometimes, if they're chosen, if they're wise, and if it's a great tree, becomes a treant.
I have no idea what she's saying because I don't speak Elvish.
Yeah, it's
No, I
It's like-
said I loosely translated into common. I'm translating an Elvish poem into common for you guys.
I speak Elvish.
Well, mostly for Cole. I'm trying to be polite, okay? But come on, this is it.
So what? I'm gonna turn into a tree ant now?
I don't
You
know.
drank more than I did.
I don't know.
I regret nothing.
I'm gonna go over to Avon and I'm gonna like start eyeing him up and down. Like, is he taller? Does he have leaves on him now?
I'll save you a bit of time. The poem lightly touches on that it's supposed to be one of the most refreshing drinks
Mhm.
and one of the most coveted drinks, but it doesn't really affect people other than making them feel great.
Okay.
You know, it won't turn you into a tree, but if you get
But it's
greedy,
how-
there's a good chance that, the tree will try to, crush you, or the Guardian will try to pull you and become one with the tree. You know?
So am I good? Do I have any leaves on me?
Probably.
There's a couple
your-
in his hair.
Oh God, it's happening.
I think those just like you got stuck in there while you're bushwhacking it.
Oh, okay.
I'm-
No, you're right.
While
You're right.
I'm pulling my axe out of the tree, I want to reach down and grab like a small stick. And I'm gonna start walking back to the group. And I want to try and sleight of hand put the stick in A-Rod's hair.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Is there any bark on the sword?
You smack him in the face.
No, that's actually that's a nat 20. 'Cause
Okay.
I have no anything else to dex.
Yeah, I mean, you thought it would be difficult, but like at this point, he hasn't showered for a couple of days. You guys are getting close to a week of travel. His hair's matted enough that you just like put it in there. Like you don't need a work for it; it just sticks.
Okay. You guys can talk to the trees, right?
Oh God, there's a snake coming. I got a fucking branch in my head.
Calm down.
Maybe you shouldn't have drank so much.
Holy shit, you're right. I fucked up.
Just ask the trees. Like right here. There's like the 3 trees here, right? Ask them if we can try tie a top between them so we don't get soaked all night.
That's what I was actually gonna do with cutting down that one. But someone heard trees scream.
Well, I mean,
Not
if you
just
can
me.
talk to trees, might as well be polite, especially in an area called Fey Pond.
Yeah,
Just
Fey
a
Pond, not Fey Clearing.
Yeah, but the whole area is supposed to be like the Fey leeches into the world here.
My fellow brethren trees, can you understand me? May we tie a tarp
I
to
want to do
you?
a bow.
Yes, good idea, good idea, good idea. I'll do a bow. May we tie a tarp to you?
As you finish your address, the trees remain silent.
I'll take your silence as a yes. Ooh.
Is that
Fey
the way that works?
magic. Elven stuff. Oh, part of the trees. Yeah, I
The
think we
hand
can tie a
motions are very
tarp.
important.
Yeah, you got it. You got to. You really. It's the wax on, wax off. Pretty classic.
That's the key.
That's the key. It's the hand waving. They like the hand waving.
I'm gonna lean over towards AC. Is he losing his fucking mind?
Maybe.
I'll take your answer at face value. Okay, mighty trees. I will now commence to hang you with
You gotta
knots.
do the hands. Gotta do the hands. There you go.
I have a book open in one hand and rope in the other, and I'm trying to figure out how my survivalist guide says you're supposed to tie up a tarp.
I'll give it to you. You guys, with a little bit of work and the three of you, and the consent of the trees, that
And then
remain
I'll-
silent during this process. Soon
I also have
enough,
proficiency in the survival, so I can get advantage.
nah, you guys don't need to roll for this. It's easy enough, you know. If you guys are all working on it, there's 3 people. You can tie a couple of knots and get this tent set up. And so, you know, eventually, you do get it set up. A couple of, you know, better part of half an hour has passed as you have gotten this thing set up large enough for you to fit under it. And since then, it's getting dark. It has gotten darker and darker. And in this darkness, you can see off in the woods a light.
Are we in, like, the clearing that we're in, the spot that we're in, is it perfectly flat, or is it slightly
Fuck
angled?
no. What do you mean perfectly flat?
Well, like,
It's lumpy, it's bumpy, it slopes this way, it slopes that way.
good. I'm pulling out my shovel, and I'm gonna start digging a trench to keep the water from us.
Alright. As
I'm
you're
gonna
doing
sit
this,
down cross-legged, and I'm gonna send Dottie to check it out and then come back.
alright, you recognize a cottage. Same cottage that was watching you last night.
I have an idea.
I poop on it. So, please continue.
That's what Dottie is for.
I'm going to write a note. And I'm going to I'm gonna have Dottie come back, pick up the note, and then fly back and like peck at the window.
Alright.
Fuck off.
Pecks at the window. I assume you're looking through Dottie's eye, and you see
Yeah.
the same, you know, woman appear at the window. And just kind of like cocks her head at you. Is the note open? Like, can she read it, or does she need to grab it to read it?
I'll have Dottie like shake it, and then it unfurls.
Alright. She like squints to read it through the pane. The window pane. She's not in pain. What
Hello.
does it say?
I am a friend of Arod's. We're wondering if you had seen anything that we should be worried about or on the lookout for in this area.
Yeah, this bitch.
She just like, you know, gives you a wave of her hand and she shakes her head no. She like steps to the side and you can see she has a table set and she like holds her hand towards it if she's like inviting you guys. And you can see it looks like a decent sized round table. She has a pot of tea in the middle of it and it looks like she's set out 5 places to sit.
Do you guys want to have tea with Arod's friend?
Absolutely
Yes.
not.
I mean, we already drank the Feywater. You guys drank the
They
Feywater.
drank the Feywater.
And
Why
it
not
was
And
very
it was
good.
magical.
So let me get this straight. We are set upon by something that is scratching in the woods. 3 random marks. You said you got it to run off, so presumably it chased your owl.
Yeah.
A random cottage appeared in the middle of the night that disappeared with the sun's light.
Mhm.
There is some old lady that Arod vaguely remembers but can't place. And she's already set out spots for us in her hut, which dissolves with light.
Arod did run after her, like, yelling in the morning, so, you know.
Seems he
All I
knows.
know is
How
that she
dangerous could it be?
sounds-
You guys did drink the water from the girl that turned into a tree, right? Like,
Oh
This
yeah,
sounds-
for sure.
This sounds a little weird, but do you know how long elves live?
14
Talking to me?
days.
It's a long time.
yes.
Why do you think
I
I
am
reached
half
the end of
elf,
my
half
natural
elf.
life before going this direction? Because I
Because you were
didn't
no
do
fun.
stupid shit.
Oh, I thought it's because you were no fun.
No, I went into a lot of different tombs and crypts. I just have some sort of preservation instinct to not do stupid things that'll get me killed.
I'm gonna say clearly not because you drank the ant water.
No, he
No.
didn't.
No,
Just
didn't
Shalashar
you?
and Cole.
Oh,
Sorry, just Cole and Arod.
Okay, I thought you said so.
Yeah, Shalashar said
Well-
no.
So,
Yeah.
if you want to go have supper with this weird old lady, that's cool, that's fine.
If we don't spend the night in her hut, it should be okay.
I don't trust this bitch as far as I can throw her, and I'm pretty strong, so I'm gonna be here. Enjoy your food.
Why don't you come a little closer? Stay as backup. If something goes down, you'll be right outside.
How far is it from here to the cottage, do you think? If
About
you can see the
100
light.
feet.
Like nothing.
I am perfectly fine with getting there as soon as I need to be.
You know, it's like you guys have your little clearing, and it's just nestled in between the trees.
At the edge of the clearing.
Yeah, actually, now that you're looking at it, can I get a perception check from anyone that thinks they have a good perception? Don't waste my time.
I have a +8, so that's a 26.
A 26?
Yeah.
The only thing you notice looking at this hut, the trees around it, even though it's dark, you know, there's still a little bit of light, those trees are more golden in the leaf. They look farther along in the season than all of the other trees.
What time of, like, how much light is there right now? Is it like dusk? So it's like the
It's
sun
dusk.
setting?
Yeah, the sun is starting to set, and it's just now starting to rain. You know, it's like that dreary gray weather. But there's enough light to make out the difference in these trees.
I'm curious to see what she has to say.
Me too.
And we'll be out of the rain.
I mean, we're out
Hey,
of the
Rod, you don't want your sword to rust.
Does anybody
Well-
else notice that weird sheen to the leaves?
Yeah, it's a Feywild. It's weird sheen, lots of leaves, lots of places.
Thought that was just how leaves looked around here. I don't know.
I'll be in the area, but I am perfectly content sitting over here.
Suit yourself. I'll start heading towards the cap.
I'm gonna put Dottie, like, on Salashar. Pat the owl, and then follow, Arod.
So you guys go over there. Shalashar, how are you making yourself comfortable alone in this campsite underneath a tarp as the rain's starting to pour down? Are you just like grumping it? Are you making some food? Are you eating? What are you doing as you're suddenly just alone under a tarp as the rain is starting to pelt down against it? Or do you want to continue digging your trench in the rain?
I'll probably keep digging my trench just to keep the water away from our camp, away from the bedrolls and everything. And then I'm gonna start looking through Opa's journal.
Okay. I will get back to you in a minute then as you dig out this trench. But if you ever need anything, just let me know. Sound good? Alright. Meanwhile, the rest of you, as you make your way towards this lovely little cottage, it seems round, or, maybe not like perfectly round, it's a little bit more of an oval. And on like one of the deeper ends of the oval is where the door is as you guys approach. And there's 3 wooden steps that like make your way up, and as you guys are walking towards it, the door like opens and you can indeed see Lillian, and she's just waves to you guys pleasantly. She has a very welcoming smile, gray sort of eyes, but not blind or anything like that, just graying with age at this point.
Lillian, it's me, it's A-Rod. Do you
I
remember
know
me?
who you are.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Make a perception check for me, A-Rod. It's my favorite role to give you.
23.
23. You look over her figure, and she's wearing robes, the ones that she usually wore. Looks like she has some pants underneath them, but she also has like a very large gray shawl that she kind of like keeps wrapped around herself. Her posture is nice. She has a necklace on her, and it looks like it's made out of like bits of leaves. There's bits of pine cones on it. You never really got to spend much time with her. She just kind of was one of those figures that every once in a while your group used to cross paths with. But there's something else on her, and it's a different necklace. It's a necklace your mother used to wear. And she steps to the side. She goes, "It's nice to see you again. Please come in."
It's a nice place you have here.
Oh, well, I'm glad you like it. It is indeed nice, well-lit interior. The only light that's in here is the fireplace that is currently on, but the light seems to illuminate this entire space extremely well.
May I, Oh, go ahead.
There's a couple of bookcases here and there, but the only like real piece of furniture is this table in the middle and the 5 stools around it.
Okay. May we have a seat?
No, please, I put these out for you, actually. I see I won't be needing one of them. Who are your friends?
This
I'm
is
Kerr.
AC. That's Kerr.
Alright, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hello.
And she just, quickly goes to the table, pours a couple of things of tea, and takes a seat herself. It looks like the weather is going to be rather frightful today.
Yeah, so why does your cabin disappear in the light? Kind of hate to get right into it here, but there are some pretty big questions.
Oh, I'm not the best at walking. I'm just keeping an eye on you for your father.
Really?
Yes, he asked, and she fingers the necklace that used to belong to your mother. He asked me to do him a favor. He misses you, and he was wondering if I could perhaps bring you home, and I just wanted a conversation. See if you were up to seeing your old man.
I don't know. I mean, isn't that kind of a bad idea, me going back? With the way things
I've heard
turned,
whisperings that you're already looking for them, though.
might not be for the reason they want.
No, but maybe we could talk about it, and it could be a decent reason for all of you involved.
Insight checker?
Yeah, you can roll an insight. I could tell you where he is.
That will be pretty helpful. Oh, good roll too, 21.
21. Looking over her, she's always had a very friendly exterior, and that's the same thing she's putting on now. She hasn't said anything that you would say is untruthful or anything like that, you know. But at the same time, like, there's something about this appearance. Something always just seems so weird with Lillian, the stranger. Like, even looking at her and seeing her face with the giant birthmark, and the fact that, like, she has very long hair. She wears it on the other side. She wants everyone to see this. Same with her necklace, same with this. Something's just always feels off with her. And that's the same thing you're getting here. She's telling the truth. She's not being rude, she's nothing like that, but just it almost, when you think about it, it makes your skin crawl being close to her.
Okay. So, father's okay?
Oh, he's doing fine. How are you
about-
doing? She gestures again for you guys to see. Please have some tea before it gets too cold.
I'll take a sip of tea.
I'll have some as well.
I mean, I hope you guys don't like it too sweet. If you want, I could get the sugar, and it's a decently bitter tea. You know, you could probably imagine that is made with some sort of berries and maybe like some pine cone or something. It's very earthy, very natural, but it definitely has like a bitterness to it.
How was mother?
Oh, I'm afraid she's gone.
Is that where you got the necklace?
No, I got this from your father.
Oh. How, I mean, what happened?
I wasn't there, and it was rude of me to pry. He just found me during one of my visits, and he said he missed you. And so he offered me this, and I said, sure, I'll look out, and when I see him, I'll let him know you're looking. So here I am, letting him know you're looking. They're currently by Fay Pond. You're not too far, actually. Bolau's done quite well for himself, so they're staying at his new place.
Polar's still in power, huh?
Oh, yes, indeed. He's definitely been ruffling a few feathers.
I'll say. Still cult murdering people?
Oh, it's a little brash to say, but, he does have a castle now.
Jesus, a castle?
Yes, not too far from here. Other side of Fay Pond. You couldn't miss it. I believe they're calling it the Cavity or the Black Tooth. One of the two.
Not what I would pick for a castle, but okay.
You know, not very many people are here for the love of things, but
Well, can't say that I'm happy to hear about mother, but
well, I don't imagine much how, but please, if you want, you can spend some time here, but you will need to be out before the sun does reach my cabin, but if you want, and while you're here, I am willing to offer certain trades. I always have been able to answer questions if you seek the right answers.
what's with that gem?
That is one of the right questions to ask, isn't it?
I suppose so.
How badly do you want to know? What do you have
Very
to
badly.
offer? And she,
Well,
at this point, like, takes a seat across from you, and she's, like, knitted her fingers together.
I have a ring made of ore. I'll just like pluck that out of thin air, set it down.
Don't think that quite covers this one. What does it mean to you?
I would like to know why everything went to hell.
No, the ring. What does the ring mean to you? That means
Something
nothing.
we came across on our travels. I've been keeping it around ever since.
I'm afraid that doesn't quite cover the debt, then.
I'll slide a gold onto the table.
You have plenty of those.
Not really.
No, I'm afraid that also doesn't quite cover it.
Well, it's worth a shot, and I'll take the gold back.
How do you feel about unique foods?
I don't really have an interest in that sort of thing. I would dabble, but for the sake of business, I'm afraid it's not really my forte.
Fair enough.
I'm hoping for something one of a kind, something unique to you, if you will, something you would miss, something you care about. That's where I find value. I find value in the things you love. I wish to share in your experiences. Gold, rings you found, pitiful thing, trinkets. I have no need of trinkets.
Afraid I don't have much to offer in that way. I'm not one for trinkets either. Gold is the currency I deal in.
A lot of trinkets.
What about you, nightmare creature?
Oh, bitch. Rude.
He looks towards Cole.
Well, I had a question, but I've got something I can give up for A-Rods. I will pull out the canister I got from Tap Tap. This is the first gift I was ever given. Would this do?
Oh, and that would too. And she reaches out towards you. She just puts her fingers on it, and she doesn't pull it from you, but there's a slight pressure as if she tries to take it from your grasp.
Let her have it.
She looks at it, turns it over in her hands, and as she's doing this, she speaks. The stone that was given to Bola was a gift. Someone looking to take the measure of others. He simply is trying to show his measure when he possesses the stone.
That is a vague and unhelpful answer.
It's plenty helpful when you understand. When you have the missing pieces, it's a piece of the puzzle. These things have a tendency to clarify themselves as you get closer to where you're going. Maybe you ask the wrong questions.
And what are the right ones?
Well, if I knew that, then I wouldn't be here.
I suppose so.
I thought we were talking about an entirely different gem.
Oh, well, if you have other questions or more things to trade.
You're the question, Cole.
Yeah, but I don't think I have anything that she would want.
You say you want something of value, but not like because it can be sold for a lot.
What about my spear?
Maybe. Depends on the question.
You use that though all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I have something though.
But I have that. I have this nifty axe now, though.
For you, nightmare creature, if you want.
His
depending on the
name is
question.
Cord.
Okay.
Creature works fine. He doesn't seem to mind, does he? He knows. He knows.
Acceptable.
What is
I
your
was wondering-
question, little thing?
What is my father up to these days?
I was going to offer that free of charge if you want to find out. You'll have to ask him yourself, though, but I could allow that if you want.
Let me think about that for a few minutes.
Well, you have till dawn.
The tea is delicious.
Thank you, I made it myself.
I imagine.
How much of the tea have you drank at this point?
Oh god, what a terrible question to ask. Why would you ask me that?
Just
Not
kidding.
much. I've
Not
just had a
much.
couple sips.
I've
Alright.
finished off my cup.
At least half.
Alright, cool. As you finish, like, whatever she put in it, she didn't strain it out. So there's like little pieces of pine cone, and there's some like little pine needles and stuff in there, and a couple of petals and stuff. So you almost have to like strain it against your teeth for like that last little bit. See, it's nothing bad. It's just a little gritty.
Trust you.
By the way, roll a fucking poison save.
How far do you hear things?
As far as these walls.
These walls seem to get around.
That they do, child. That they do.
Have you heard anything about songs in the Thorn Forest?
I've heard whisperings of a melody.
And what
Gotta
about
go to the bathroom. Be right back.
Says
And what
Avon.
about a
Steps
man-
outside. Don't pee on my house.
down looking for a stone of glass that looks like amber?
Well, depends again on what you have to offer.
I reach forward and I pull out like just a bunch of jewelry. And it's all of the like metal rings and pendants and bits and baubles that I decorate myself with every now and then. Fiddle through it a little bit. And then I pull out one piece that's not the prettiest by far. And I set it down. It's not pretty, so I've never tried to sell it. But it's the first real piece of jewelry I made. My dad helped me design the pattern for it.
Out
My
of
mom
character, remind me again of your question as I was making fun of A-Rod going to pee outside of the house.
The guy looking for the amber stone in Thorn Forest.
Well, what exactly did you say? If you
I
could?
was just asking if she knew about him.
Ah, no, that she'll reach out and she'll pick up the rangers. So you've come a long way with your crafting.
That was years ago.
Does this ring mean anything to you when you've spent so long running from your past? Or is this just another step to becoming something new?
I don't
She'll put it back on the
think I've
table,
ever run from crafting.
and she like slides it back towards you. You think of this and your need to run away, you'll understand much more the mind of this one who seeks the glass, and his need to move forward in some meaningful way. Perhaps he needs a guide, or perhaps he has one. Much as you could use a mentor yourself. You're on a similar path of this one, but this ring means nothing to me, as you yourself don't know its value. And so, creature, what do we think?
I think I don't want to talk to him. I wouldn't mind observing, though.
I'm afraid it's a bit of a two-way street with that one.
I guess so. I don't really want to, but I should.
Well, tonight then, get your chance. And she just kind of like reaches her hand towards you, and it stops about a couple of inches away, and she just goes, "Come here." She presses her thumb against your forehead, and there's almost the pain as you guys see his skull kind of like gives way a little bit, And when she pulls her hand away, there's a clear imprint of her thumb that's slowly starting to pop out. It'll be gone by the morning, little one.
Okay.
Anything
Well, this
else?
has been entirely weird.
It would be weirder if you had more to trade.
I'm afraid all my markings are tattooed on me, so can't exactly give those up.
I don't think you're proud of those as you once were either. But maybe.
They still hold meaning to me.
I have a knife. We could carve one off.
Oh,
I mean, it'll hurt like hell, but
No, Cord, that's
just giving you the option. That's
I
all.
I appreciate that. That's very thoughtful of you. I'm not gonna carve my face though. Thank you.
What about your
Okay.
companion? He seems like he would have plenty of questions, and yet he doesn't join us.
He's a bit
Not
reluctant.
exactly
Cankerous.
trusting.
Well, fair enough. It's weird. He seems like he spends quite a bit of time asking questions himself, but usually falls short when it gets close to the finish line.
He's
I
old
can
and
try to
grumpy.
get him.
No, it's fine. He'll learn in time.
I'm just gonna open the door real quick. I'm just gonna open the door. Sell the shard. Hey,
I'm
you
just
want you
gonna-
sure? You want to come in? Come on, it's cool in here, man. You got questions? You got stuff to trade?
Hawk my head a little. I'll slam the shovel in the dirt and carefully walk my way over.
Alright.
I'm gonna curl up in front of the fire.
When she sees you, she kind of like,
I'm gonna take like a little like hairbrush and I'm gonna start scrubbing at coal on
Cool.
various parts where it's like got spiky bits.
you're cleaning his scales.
Yep.
Alright. She kind of
Yeah,
scowls
right
at you
behind
as you approach, and she's just like, Mud, please
Right-
come in.
Right
Reminds
behind
me
the
of home."
horns. That feels good.
Yeah.
I'll kind of shake myself clean outside to the best of my ability.
No, please come in.
What was that, Arod?
I was just wondering if you had some questions that you needed answered.
I ask only for tokens of who you were or who you might be. Sentimental value.
There's two things I could give. Okay. I'll pull off my bag and I'll start rummaging around. And I'll pull out a tiny little jade stone. This is the stone I actually give to my the love of my life. I found it my first time diving into ruins before I asked her to marry me. And I'll gently slide it across the table.
Alright, she doesn't reach for it or anything, she just looks you up and down. What's your question?
Where am I going?
Oh,
North.
I could answer that one, dude.
There's something inexplicable pulling me towards the horizon. And I don't know what it is. I've been wandering so long that I've lost my way. I'm kind of going through the motions, and I don't know why I get up in the mornings anymore. I don't know what I'm heading towards. I'm just endlessly marching.
She's going to pick up your emerald. It was an emerald stone, correct?
Jade.
Jade. She picks up your jade stone. She's just kind of like holding it between her fingers and she's turning it over. Do you think maybe the reason you feel so lost is because, you know, you'll never find this again? Who you gave it to, who it belongs to. You move forward and you yourself follow something, but what does it mean to follow a god when you'll never meet them? Maybe you seek meaning, purpose, or an answer to what you've given up, or what you gave up for what you were trying to find. You find yourself trapped and perhaps in a bit of a juxtaposition, your choices against what you really wanted. I hope
Oh.
that helps.
I'll give a little nod of my head and just remain silent.
Maybe what you seek isn't on this plane. Maybe it's someplace else. She'll pull another cup of tea and she'll slide it across towards you. And even though you don't drink, maybe you'll like this. Now please, is there anything else I can do for you fine travelers before I have to, sadly, kick you out of my lovely abode?
Does someone else had any other questions?
No, but I'm gonna start working on something with just some pliers. Start curling metal thread into a ring.
In that, I hope you all have a good night and keep your eyes on this one. And she points towards Cole. He is going to have a bit of a rough one.
How do you feel about that, Cord?
That's nothing new.
We got your back, buddy.
At this point, she's like stood up and she's walked
so
around
you
to the
owe
other
me.
side of the house. She's opened up the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out, bow to her, thank her for the tea.
And she just quickly looks at you, Avod. I won't tell your father anything, but if you want to talk to him, you probably could. You know where to find him now.
I got a feeling we'll be bumping into each other at some point in the near future.
Oh. Best of luck. You
You
won't be
too.
seeing my cottage again, as my end of the deal has been fulfilled.
Well, thank you for your time and the tea.
Enjoy the rain. Fall's coming rather early.
I'll leave.
She
I'll,
looks towards the rest of you expectingly.
Give a quick nod and I'll bow my head before sweeping out of the room.
Are you two leaving? Staying? Come on.
Oh, I already left.
Oh.
I left first.
Got it. Right, you did, yes.
I'll just give her a look and leave.
My eyes aren't what they used to be, damn it. She closes the door.
Well, that was something.
Sorry about your mom.
It's alright. People live, people die.
I'm gonna sit down, leaning one shoulder against Dayrod, and just keep looking.
I hope that question was like really important to you.
It was. The answer wasn't that great, though, to be truthful. AC, can you braid my hair?
course I can.
Fuck you, I'm busy.
Thanks.
Alright, so you all make your way back to the tub, stepping over the trunks that Shalashar has dug in the muddy ground. The rain hasn't started too bad yet, but it's definitely starting to soften the ground at this point. You guys probably won't be flooded out tonight, though. Who wants to take first watch? Alright,
I'll take last watch.
alright. And
16.
16. And A-Rod and Assie, I assume you two are doing your trance after you
Yeah.
Yeah.
braid his hair.
I'm
And
also gonna
clean him
spend a
little.
little bit of time working on something.
Yeah, the ring you want to bend in shape.
I also
Right.
want to use bending to like make it stick together in certain places.
Fair enough, but we are going to take a quick 10-minute break here. And when we get back, we will see what's going on. So I will see you guys in, do you want 10 or 15 minutes?
Probably 15. I gotta eat.
15?
Yeah, I want to go throw some food together.
For sure. I will see you guys back here in 15 minutes. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys for the 2 follows, and we will be back shortly.
pot.
All right. Hello, everybody. If you
Hey,
guys are
sorry.
good to start, we can get back to it.
I don't wanna.
You know, well, that's fine.
Do I have to?
You can always just stay up all night. All right, 1 second. Just double checking a couple of my last minute notes here before we jump back into this. But you know, this is my live streaming experience. I'll never be as good as Critical Role, so I just embrace the suck. You get long moments of me just reading notes.
Fair.
Right.
At least be honest.
Yeah, at least I'm honest, you know. You can't hurt me if I'm honest. Alright, so everyone has gone to bed. I believe Shalashar is taking the first watch as our two elf or half-elf companions have gone into their trances for the evening. You know, concentrating, you know, on the sound of rain and, you know, the sound of Core's snoring. You snore, right? I imagine kobolds snore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever weird sounds he makes while he's asleep.
Imagine he's kind of like a dog. Sometimes he just starts running in his sleep.
Core high or low? I didn't hear that.
Low.
Low. Alright. Now I want to ask you a bit of an odd question about Core. What is he expecting when he falls asleep? What's he
Nothing
thinking
good.
about?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
Not,
That's
not,
it.
not expecting anything good to be happening. I'm thinking that it would be like. I'm hoping it's not a face-to-face, although that's like what I'm actually expecting.
Alright. So as you drift off to sleep, you end up far, far away. And you're actually, once again, back at home in those safe, lovely tunnels of the Great Scale Tribe. Just like last time, it's their morning prayer. They've all gathered in the halls. But as you're looking over your tribe, you realize these aren't the same tunnels. They're actually far from familiar. You look around and you actually see tall structures. In this moment, you actually feel, you just know innately that you're not in the right time. This is something different. As you kind of look around, you can see humans, you see elves, you see dwarves, you see all of these people living here underground in this giant earthen city. There's buildings that go from the floor all the way to the ceiling. There's people in all of them, and you kind of spin slowly. And as you do this, you come back around, and the people are statues. Nothing's moving. Everything's lifeless. And then you feel something. A presence behind you. Do you want to turn around?
No, but I will.
What else would you like to do? This is your dream. You can do whatever you want. You just tell me as you're standing in this now dead city.
I'll look over my shoulder.
Right. You glance over your shoulder. Behind you, you see, just out of the corner of your eye, your tail. But something's wrong. There's actually a ball on it, and it has a slit. And as you look towards it, it opens, and you're looking at an eye the side of your head, and you wake up. When you look at your tail, though, the tip is swollen.
Poke at it a little bit, gently.
It hurts. It's extremely sensitive. And you can see as well, like, your scales around it have like started to. They're almost loose. A bunch
It's
of
full
the
of
scales on the
spiders.
tip of your
Don't
tail.
pick at it.
And Shalashar, you can see this as well as you're looking around. You can see like Cole just kind of sits up, and he's currently like just poking at his tail a little bit. Also, I respect that you have just an entire bowl, an entire pot.
Yeah, I am absolutely disgusted that you put ketchup in your mac and cheese.
How fucking dare you? Ketchup
That
is
is
delicious.
disgusting.
I have decided with the cobalt on this one.
Yep, ditto.
All you eat is fucking water, Ariel. Shut up.
Kids.
And potatoes.
Cole's
So I'm
currently
gonna,
playing with his tail.
I'm gonna wrap it up in some cloth.
Can I roll a medicine check on it?
Well, tell me what you would like to do with it, and I'll tell you what you roll.
I've presumably seen a lot of injuries from the fighting kind, from just like stumbling, rolling your ankle, that sort of thing. So I wanted to take a look at the tail itself and see if there's any telltale signs of anything, any type of injury. If it's swelling from getting hit, or if it was stepped on and kind of crushed and the scales are loose. If there's some sort of swelling, if it was
Sure.
like an infection.
For that, you can make a medicine check for sure.
It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm just wrapping it up in some cloth.
You can
5, 7,
pull your tail
8,
away if you want.
16.
Just gotta let me know what you're doing as he.
Well, yeah, if he's gonna be like taking a close look, no.
Nice.
Well,
No.
medicine check
no,
usually involves a close look, so that's fair.
Yeah, no.
No.
Are you sure, little one?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, well, if you want, I can take a look at it after.
No, it'll be okay.
Okay, well, you know where I'll be.
I think A-Rod's friend owes me a bit of a refund, though.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Thought you were asleep.
No, all the commotion woke me up. What's this about a tail?
Nothing.
I had a dream I had a tail.
Oh, that's lovely. I didn't know you slept, Bone Daddy.
It's hard.
Not so much a dream as a...
chatting.
It's like a...
Sorry.
Not a daydream, but it's not a night dream. Something came to mind. Sorry. You can go back to sleep.
Resume my
Yeah.
trance.
I'll try. Wake me up when it's my turn for a watch.
Okay. Who's on the next watch?
I'll take it.
That would be a rod.
Alright, A-Rod, you know the drill.
Yep. Let me get that perception check.
Roll a deck save. What a way to start.
14.
14. Definitely, the light that was in the woods has since vanished at this point. Ko seems to be sleeping a lot more peacefully at this point. Nothing's really grabbing your attention. It seems like a nice, calm night, but the rain at this point has been starting to definitely build throughout the night. It's not quite a downpour, but you're getting a feeling it's probably not going to let up. And you can hear towards the south, closer towards the river, there's more sounds coming from the woods. Things are in there, they're moving around, and it sounds like they're getting closer towards you, or probably moving away from the river as quickly as they can.
And this is across the river, right?
No, on your side.
Well, on our side.
Yeah, roll a survival check.
Ooh, I'm not very good at survival. 17.
17. You get the idea that the river is flooding. And
Okay.
most of the animals in the woods are just getting as far away from that as they possibly can.
Are we in danger of getting washed away by the river, or?
Nah, you guys are far enough away.
Okay.
Alright. and then you can wake up whoever you want for the third watch.
AC. AC.
Yes,
It's your watch.
I'm on it.
Watch out for the river. Sounds like, I don't know, sounds like it's flooding or something. Just keep an eye out on it. Don't want to get washed away.
Well then, I'm gonna close my eyes and send Epidot to check
Fantastic. Roll me a dex save.
it out. Uh-oh.
Whoops.
I'm sorry. I said it.
Me roll a dex save or my owl?
Your owl.
Don't give the DM ideas. Jesus.
Yeah, what the hell?
Keep my mouth.
This is your fault
Yeah,
now.
know your place.
Agreed.
There we go. Okay. Says 17.
17. They managed to land, but they cannot take flight in this weather. It is,
Okay.
when I say it is starting to turn into a downpour, I mean the wind is going crazy. Like, they open their wings and you watch as your owl go spiraling towards a tree, and they manage to like just close their wings in time and tuck, and they manage to like swoop down and land on the ground. And they look at you indignant. Their feathers, they kind of like ruffle them up a little bit, and they like, now that they're out from underneath the tent, they're just getting pounded in rain, and it like hops back towards you, not wanting to fly. And you get this super soaked, drenched owl back.
That makes my heart sad.
I'm sorry.
And
You're right.
if looks could kill, yeah.
You're right. You're right. You know
Our
what?
work, too.
You know what? Here, I'm gonna pull out a cloth and like towel off the owl a bit.
You get the tiniest hoot.
And then I pull out that fancy pillow that I stole out of the Septum's tower.
Yeah.
And I said, you can sit down on here.
Huh? That reminds me, sorry to distract. You wanted to read Oba's journal. What exactly were you looking for in Oba's journal?
You had mentioned that there were some spells in there that I didn't get a chance to decipher.
So you just kind of want a reminder of those? Do you have spell casting?
So cleric? No, he doesn't.
Alright, can you
No.
roll an Arcana check?
Absolutely. With a +1, that is a 14.
A 14. Yeah, there are a couple of spells in there. You cannot decipher them, but you do understand that 2 of these spells are from the same creator, a Bolance. But that's the best you can get. You can get the schools. One is Conjuration, another is Enchantment. There's, I believe, one other spell in here. Yeah, that is what you will get from that, my friend.
Okay.
Alright. Anyway, sorry about that, Assy. I just remembered that
No,
they asked
that's-
about it.
That's totally fair.
But besides that, you know, I imagine you just hold your watch there, so you just kind of watch the rain pouring down around the group.
Well, I have Dottie do the actual watching while I work.
Alright, so you're just working,
Yeah,
but
like you wouldn't be able to see anything.
yeah, Dottie doesn't warn you of anything, but once in a while you watch as their eyes lock on something, they seem to track it, and there's just like a deer or two just on the edge of your clearing that has also spotted you guys, and it's just like frozen. And when the little bit of like moves, and it's kind of like moves around the camp. You know, just
Don't
you know,
bother that then.
you know, a bunch of wild game is being flushed your guys' way, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
besides that, eventually you guys all do wake up to the sound of pouring rain.
I want to, if possible, try to finish what I'm working on.
It's just a simple ring, yeah?
It's a ring made out of copper wire and woven into the primordial word for heroic, or like brave, something along that vein, and turned into a ring, and then I used like mending here and there to like essentially spot weld it.
You can make a d20 and add your proficiency.
Proficiency, just my proficiency, or like
Just your
dexterity as
proficiency.
well?
Crit for this is just proficiency.
Ooh, dirty 20.
20. You're able to get it mostly done. You know, with another hour or two of work, you could probably finish fine-tuning it, but you got, like, the rough shape done at the very least.
Okay. I'll put it away for now. Actually, I'll keep working on it during Co's watch, but once it's his turn.
Well, I believe if you guys wanted, this is more than your 8 hours, unless it was 2 hours each. Then, if you want, you could wake him up.
I only need 4 hours to meditate. To trance.
2 each.
Alright, in that case, you can wake Cole up as well.
Okay.
Cole, can you make a perception for me?
Probably not, but I'll try.
I have complete faith in you.
I don't have faith in my dice. 15.
15. Same thing as well. You can see, like, you know, the rain is coming down hard. There's quite a few, like, animals that have been starting to show up near the edge of your clearing, but nothing has gone. The other thing is your tail is extremely itchy. It is the itchiest it has ever been. And looking at, like, what you've wrapped up, it's doubled in size.
I'll dig up some mud and slather it on the tip to see if that helps at all.
Well, you have it wrapped. Are you going to unwrap it, or are you going to just
Yeah.
put mud on it? Yeah?
No, I'll unwrap it.
You want to wrap it? What you see is the same thing you saw in your dream. Right now, the tip of your tail looks like a closed eyelid. And it has now swollen to like the size of 2 fists.
I walk into the forest out of sight a bit. Find a fallen log. Lay down my tail, pull out the axe, and I cut off the tip.
Make an attack roll for me.
Well,
Where you just want to cut off the tip of your tail, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, terrible.
My dude.
It's one way to deal with it.
8.
8. You will need to chop it again as you swing your axe down. You're going to take 6 points of slashing damage, but it's still attached. You're going to need to do another swing at your tail here.
Do I hear this?
Let me take off the 6 first.
He walked into the woods. This is between him and God.
God damn it, God!
If a tail falls in the woods,
Hey, there we go.
still make a scream.
21.
That will do it. And as you swing into it, like the eye opens, and it is a bloodshot eye with a red iris. And as you like cut into it again, the eye falls down into the dirt. And your tail is bleeding badly, and you need to do something about this most likely, but you have managed to sever it.
I will take care of that in a second. I will pick up the tip, look into the eye, just say,
Make a wisdom save for me.
fuck!
Come on, Big Daddy Scale Boy.
You had to say something. You had to jinx it. That's a 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't jinx it. I was just hoping
Yes, you
that
did.
I escaped that fucking 1 to 4 range that you're so good for.
as you look into it, you hear a voice in your head. It's a very alien voice, and it just... You hear the words, and it goes, "You ruined perfection!" And with that, it just seems like it bleeds out. Whatever was about to happen, you managed to stop it.
I'll finish what I'm doing, I guess. look at it as it fades away and just like,
Yeah, the eye at this
I'm
point
coming.
is losing color.
I'm coming for you. And I squish it in my hand. And, oh boy, I guess this will be a little ironic. 6 points lay on tail.
Right? The tip of your tail is now pretty flat from where you cut it off, but it is no longer bleeding.
I will rebandage that and
What would you like to do with the remains of this squished eye? Like, it was like, you know, you could leave it here, but it's up to you.
I'm gonna go a little further into the woods. And I'm gonna bury it.
Alright.
I love how we've just decided to collectively bury our problems.
Gotta get rid of this.
There can't be evidence if we bury it.
Just sit for a while and think. And we'll eventually stand up. And I'm gonna scratch a circle into the ground, put some writing on it, around it, and I am going to cast a spell.
Okay, what would you like to cast?
That one, the new one. For my little friend.
Did you send it to me somewhere? Am I missing something? Oh, I see you're looking for it still. Got it.
For the picture that I sent you?
Oh, that. Well, if you'd like to describe what you're doing, I'm sure people would appreciate it, or I could take over and do it for you. You let me know.
Yeah, hold on. I am going to come out of the woods back into camp, and I'm going to be riding something. It is... How tall do you think that thing is?
3 feet to 4 feet at the shoulders.
Alright. About yay big then. A what appears to be semi-wolf-ish creature that I'm riding. The eyes are a complete pale milk, maybe moonlight, who knows? And the eyes are dripping the exact same color just constantly. And the entire thing seems a little
There you go. That's
slightly
what it looks
out of
like. Oh, wait,
focus.
Shalashar. They'll put it here over top of me somehow. I can't. But there you go. It is a wolf-like creature.
The paws strangely have elongated claws, and that is in game chat for the party. If you want to take a look at what it actually looks like, because my descriptive powers are not very strong.
Got it.
I appreciate the effort.
I try.
Right, so you come
Still gonna
trotting into camp, ride this wolf with white eyes and a couple of spikes coming off of its back by the looks of it. What would you like to do?
I look
I
up
hop.
what I'm working
I hop
on.
off and sit down.
That thing.
Where did you find that?
That
Yeah,
that's Mr. Fluffykins.
of course it is.
Okay.
What happened to your tail there, buddy?
A little bit hurt. I think I sat on it wrong or slept on it wrong.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, the only thing you guys notice is it's no longer bandaged and it seems blunter.
No, I rebandaged it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Mhm.
So, comes back, tail's just bandaged. Got it. Less swollen, though. That's the good news.
Okay then.
Is the wolf thing gonna stay with us?
Oh, yeah. I ride him around. I've known him forever.
Whoa, we've never seen him.
Well, he hasn't been around for a long time.
Terrifying.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen that particular beauty walking around.
Is everybody awake now?
Yes, everyone has kind of come awake at, like, this very large wolf-like creature has come into camp. It's not something you miss or really sleep through. As he, like, you know... The visual here is as he's coming towards you guys. It is pouring rain and just, like, coming off of Cole's armor, and this thing is he, like, literally he has to put it underneath the tarp. So this thing's next to you guys. As, you know... It smells nice, you know, it doesn't smell dirty. Its breath is well clean, doesn't seem like this thing has been eating anything. But it is, like, pretty much directly in your guys' face, as it is now under the tarp with you all. So, yes, everyone would be awake from this thing's presence.
Unblinking, constant drippings.
Yeah. But wherever it's like saliva falls, it doesn't seem like it leaves a pool or anything like that. It almost, like, vanishes. It's not,
Can I
like,
pet it?
fully...
Oh yeah, he's like actually really friendly.
Aw,
I mean,
come here.
He looks scary, but he's not.
Can
Alright.
I ask what in the holy fuck that thing is?
As you say this, it looks at you with just unblinking, pupilless, white eyes, just, like, staring back into you.
He's an old friend. Technically my mount.
Yeah, but I'm an elf. You're a kobold. That thing is a fucking nightmare.
No, this is Mr. Fluffykins.
You're just jealous you're not the most nightmarish thing here anymore. And don't worry, you are.
You caught me. I just want to know, like, is it like a
It's not-
hellhound? Is it a figment of your imagination that you conjured into being? Like, I gotta know what we're dealing with here.
Oh, I cast a spell to summon him. Don't worry, he's not gonna gnaw on your bones. And he can understand you, by the way.
Aw, who's a good boy?
I'm just gonna look at him. I am so sorry.
Gotta be more open-minded, Salashar.
And I
Be
mean,
petting him behind the ear, give him a little ear scratches.
He hasn't been around because I haven't had, like, enough power to summon him.
Makes
power
sense.
of imagination.
Strength of will, I think.
You and your magics. I'll never understand it.
Whatever you got, little buddy.
Alright, well, with that, as you are all awake at this point, underneath this tarp, would you guys like to proceed throughout the day as yesterday, or what is the plan? Weathering the storm, or how are you all feeling this
I think
morning?
we should wait it out.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I mean, Dottie cannot fly in this.
Well, Dottie can sit in my cowl. She can sit in my cloak. You, like, can't familiars go away, like, disappear? Tala does that all the time. You can like, make them come back.
How did I send her away?
So she's safe and dry?
Safe and dry right here. Scratch her.
The dampest owl you guys have ever seen. Feathers just puffed up.
I dried Dottie off.
You realize how thick their fur is?
Feathers.
They don't have fur, they have
feathers.
Feathers. My apologies.
You know, like she's a fluffed owl, that is for sure.
It's grumpy.
She's looked happier.
Besides, Dottie has better vision than I do.
I really don't think that we should be staying here. If the river's going to be flooding, if it's going to be raining, I think we need to get a move on. And luckily, I can make sure that we don't get flooded by the water. They'll be able to stay above it. But I don't think that we should stay put. We still have a job to do. I'd still rather get somewhere civilized, not be kind of left to the forest's whims.
And I'd prefer not to slog through mud and get soaked to the bone.
Just,
Pun intended.
What pun?
I hate all of you, except for
What
Kurt.
pun?
Soaked to the bone.
Yeah?
Bone daddy.
Oh, Right. Shoulda.
Yeah.
1d4 psychic damage.
I hate my life.
Point still stands.
My unlife.
So
I
the
still
plan is
think-
to stay here and weather it then.
I am fairly against staying here and just being left to the devices of nature, but that's just one vote.
I don't know. Running through the rain and the mud might not be such a good idea.
I
Yeah,
mean-
but
How close? Are we
feel like we
close to
would've made
like? Are we close to like any towns, any civilization?
I will pull up my map.
Definitely the closest thing would be Fey Pond, but looking at Shelishar's map, he has a couple of caves marked here and there on it as well. There's probably one about an hour or so away. If you guys were to head directly north towards the mountains, you might be able to find some caves.
I'm alright with that.
Caves are good.
Something to keep us out of the
Keep us
Okay,
out of the
then.
rain. Yep.
and out of character. My my spell will actually allow us to basically walk over top of the mud itself, so we won't
I'm
be
aware.
bogged. That was true. The rest of everyone else.
Ah, got it.
Good to know.
So
That way-
maybe these caves seem like they could be pretty good. It's not too far of a trek. At least maybe reevaluate what the weather looks like after we get there.
Oh, we could get there and find out something else is already using the caves for shelter.
But then you'll be out of the damp.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Too much
I
in the
mean-
damp and your sheath is gonna rot.
I saw. Easy.
What?
You do.
I point at A-Rod. His sword is gonna rust.
Oh,
What?
goodness.
Your sword.
Oh God. Have mercy.
What?
What did you tell the little one?
Told about the swords and the sheaths.
Did it ever
Erod
occur?
and Shalashar, can while you guys are having this conversation, just because you have passive perceptions, you notice something else off in the trees. It's just you guys, like I said, you've seen quite a few flora, getting destroyed. You've seen quite a bit of fauna coming this way, avoiding the river. But you notice something else now, and it's something that's unlike the deer, which have stopped and they've like paused and they've been like moved slowly, right? Nothing's moving quick here. You do notice something moving very close to the ground rather quickly through the mud. It's hard to tell what it is, but you guys both just like, as you're having this conversation, you just like quickly see this movement and you look over.
Is
See
it close
that?
to us?
Yeah, how close is it to us?
It was hard to tell. You just like, this is like one of those things where like someone just does something and you look quickly
Where's
and you're
where's
just
the?
drawn to it.
You said it was going over the mud or through the mud?
It was hard to tell. It was just one of those quick movements where everything is going slow.
Where is the mud, according to where we are?
It looked like it was probably not in the clearing, off in the trees, a little ways off. So
Okay.
anywhere
Division.
from 100 feet to 50 feet away.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, anytime, buddy.
Yeah, we need to get a move. Let's go find a cave.
Fine. Somebody
So-
needs to help me untie this top, though. I can't even reach half of these knots.
I got it.
I will, water walk is a ritual, so I'll spend that 10 minutes, dry heaving.
Alright. Odd question. Do you guys know what it sounds like when a deer is, like, getting killed?
Yep.
Cool. That's the sound you hear coming from the woods as you're, like, there fuddling with the knots. Like, someplace off in those woods, you just hear, and it doesn't sound quick. It is a long death scream from a deer that just kind of, like, carries over. And then just as suddenly, it goes quiet again as Assie's there holding a knot. And Shalashar is on the ground. He has his components around him underneath this taupe. And he's trying to complete the ritual while the taupe's still up, but the taupe's coming down. So he's like slowly getting wetter and wetter as this is going on.
Start untying faster.
I'm gonna send Dottie away while we're doing this.
Cool, roll a dex save.
Me?
No, Dottie. Oh, you mean like you're sending it away?
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to send it to go look.
No, no, no.
You're tried and true.
No, I've learned that does not work at this point.
Alright, so you keep tying, you look down at your owl you look to your owl who's on your shoulder, and just poof, vanishes. Guys, untie a little bit faster. Shalashar starts getting more and more wet, but
No,
It's-
this is taking too long. I pull out the axe. I'm just gonna cut the rope.
I don't have an infinite amount of rope.
I'll buy you more.
Didn't you loot like 200 feet of rope from that camp?
Maybe.
so you start chopping
Hearing
through
that,
this
I
rope
caught it.
as Assie's like complaining. Shalashar starts getting more wet. Who
I'll also
has
use mending once we get it untied and we're walking.
You're the greediest.
Rogues.
A-Rod,
Rogues. Oh,
Yes.
you're now the one who's not done with. You're not doing a ritual. You still have full access to your passive perception. From the direction of you heard that scream, you are hearing some of the grossest sounds. You're hearing the sound of like something getting ripped apart and shredded, as well as you hear suddenly just something slam against a tree. And about 150 feet off in the forest, even with all like the wind blowing and everything, a tree shakes hard enough that you see its foliage move.
Hey guys, we got something. We got something. Forget your rituals. Forget the tent.
How long have I been casting this for?
Been about 5 minutes. You're halfway through. At this point, like now the taupe's down as they've cut it. Ashley's like trying to fold this thing so they can get into pocket space well enough, and you're just getting pelted with rain.
I'm gonna hold on until the last second if possible. This can give us a definite advantage in case anything tries to get at us through the mud.
Pull out my bow and knock an arrow.
All right.
Plus, I am. They aren't big heals, but like technically heals.
Cole, what are you doing?
I'm gonna hop on top of Mr. Fluffy.
Can I get perception checks from you three? Not you, Shalashal.
I don't even have my owl benefits.
22.
Yeah.
I do have a 16.
Powerful 6.
Powerful 6.
I trust.
Alright, so A-Rod and Assy. You hear that sound, but then you see another movement. And Assy, you just see this movement, and it's very quick. But A-Rod, you actually make it out. It looks like a shark fin that's like in the mud. And as
Okay.
soon as you see it, it looks like it almost goes underneath. You just saw movement, but go ahead.
I am going to hold Earth Tremor for if something gets close enough.
Alright. Just as quick as this fin was like up and you see it, it almost goes underneath the ground as if it was water.
You guys see that? Did you see that?
See what?
No,
It was
not
a
really.
fin. It was a fucking fin.
At this point, the ritual completes as Shalashai stands up, and he just starts puking everywhere. And this stuff, as soon as it like hits the water, it's like trying to repel itself. And last time it just like pooled. This time it's almost like bubbling as it like spreads out towards you guys. And once again, your feet are encased in this black goo. Where would you like to go?
North, I suppose.
And sorry, did I hear you say like a fin?
Yeah, like a shark fin.
You really gotta lay off the mushrooms.
No, I'm telling you. I know what I saw.
Can
Hey,
any of us?
And that
Cool.
water turned out to be a good idea, for the record. I felt great.
All I know is that you said that a lady came out of the tree. You heard trees yelling.
Her name was Leaf.
As you guys are having this conversation... I'm kidding, go ahead.
Oh, really? Oh, I was waiting for something.
And
No, not yet.
you heard a tree scream. The lady's name was Leaf. I'm just gonna gesture to the treetop. And now you see a shark fin in the middle of the forest.
It was in the mud. It went down into the mud.
That doesn't help your case.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am just seeing things.
No.
Well, there was something eating, I assume, a deer pretty close by, so...
Shalashal, because now that you're no longer busy and you have a high passive perception, you actually see 3 of these shark fins, and it looks like they're spreading out around you guys. And at the same time, almost as if on cue, they all submerge once again.
I would like to
You
rescind my previous
I think
statement.
it might have turned towards you.
I would like to rescind my previous statement.
Now, I need you guys to imagine that as you're having this conversation, you're more or less yelling at each other from the sound
Over
of the
the-
rain. Hi, Rich.
We need to go. We need to go.
Told you.
Like now.
Well, get going. I'm gonna make sure that I stay 10 feet away from everybody else right now.
Okay. Now at this point, because as we've all sat here and these things have now moved a couple of times, can I get a dex save from who's the closest to the clearing?
Oh, okay.
Probably me.
I'd probably be most central.
Staying a bit away from everybody else.
Okay, because you said you wanted to be 10 feet away, so do you want to be
Yeah.
behind or in front?
Probably lagging behind a little bit.
Fantastic. So I need a little...
And like I said, I'm-
That's a reaction. So you can but first you do need to make this dex save as it
Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah.
Unless you want to like just cast it and auto fail the dex save. That's
I'll
up to
try.
you.
I'll try to pass this deck save.
All right.
Ho ho ho.
Well,
Plus,
what
what's my dex
exactly
save?
does your spell do? Remind me of that as well, quickly. Like,
Okay,
what did you
that
wanna
is
do?
a 17. You cause a tremor in the ground on a 10-foot radius. Each creature other than you in that area must make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. If the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared.
All right. Then I will roll as well. What is the DC?
The DC will be 13.
All right. So here's what happens as you're kind of a ways away. You guys also hear this as suddenly there's just a loud shake, and you all look back, and you all see Assy. What does your spell look like?
I got pretty high on that deck save.
But
So
are you
I
like
see-
stomping your foot? How are you casting it?
I see these things coming towards me, and I take a step back, and I just pound 2 fists on my thighs in a sound reminiscent to a dwarven tune, and then I stomp my foot down and.
Alright. So, what actually happens as this thing comes towards you, and it jumps out of the ground, and what you see is... Imagine a dog with 4 legs. Sorry, a shark with 4 legs. As this thing comes up, and its jaw is almost big enough to swallow Assy whole. It's not quite a bullet. It's roughly the size of one, though, and as Assy quickly slams their fist down, and the ground kind of explodes underneath this thing and knocks it off to the side. It, like, hits the ground and rolls. You can roll damage, by the way.
Ooh, full bludgeoning damage.
I will try to find a picture of this thing. They're rather cute. Alright, this isn't what it's called, but I'll put this in the thing to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. Bam. That's roughly what that thing looks like that comes out of the ground. I'll put this over top of Shalashal, for those of you that want to see. Over top of Shalashal. That's roughly what it looks like. So that's the thing that you just managed to knock to the side. Unfortunately, there's 2 others, and we are probably going to end today's session here, and then we'll begin with rolling initiative and seeing what you guys want to do as these mud sharks are starting to just show up out of nowhere. One last thing, though. Assy, as you seem to be the most knowledgeable about this sort of thing, roll a history check.
That is a 12.
A 12. Well, I can't give you too much with that, but from your understanding that these things come from the Feywild. Specifically the Fall codes. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and we will hopefully be back next week. And we'll actually have some combat. Allegedly.
You're dicks.
Alright, until
Don't worry,
then,
I can talk them down.
you can try. Bye-bye.